Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short, little unboxing video to share with you guys. Two from Maxace. We haven't heard from Maxace for a bit. They're always sending wacky stuff, but every now and then they send something that's a little more practical. I honestly don't know what these are. We're going to open them up together. Thanks to Maxace for sending them in, and thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Does this have... Oh, I have to cut the thing there. So what do we have first? This is the Capsule 2, blue and white. Okay, interesting. That we've looked at the capsule, but this is the Capsule 2, which means it's been updated in some way, presumably. Oh my gosh. Red, white, and blue. What is different? Immediately, nothing. But the capsule is a weird knife and has captured the attention of a lot of people. What is stuck to my finger? But the capsule has grabbed the attention of a lot of people because it's a short, stumpy little front flipper that for some reason actually feels like a knife that is, you know, that you would want to carry and use. It's hard for me to explain it, but a lot of the people who have picked this up have described this knife kind of the same way. It doesn't have any traits that would immediately lend to the idea that, yeah, you want to carry and use this. Like, it's short and fat and kind of stocky, and it's a really straight single deployment knife, and that single deployment being a front flipper, right? Unless you absolutely love front flippers, none of that seems very inviting. But for some reason, it's kind of a fun knife, right? And what they've done here with the aesthetic, I don't think there's anything different here. In fact, did they change the steel? What does it say? No, it just says Capsule 2. Maybe the second generation is just new colors and things. Do they list the steel? I think last time the steel was M390. Does it say? 10CR15 CO MOV. Well, there's a research topic for me. I'm not familiar with all of the whatever CR, whatever MOV steels, right? A lot of people look at them and assume that they're all, you know, within the same like budget to medium range. And that's not true. They have really, you know, like your 7 CRs and your 3 CRs. That's usually what I tell people to stay away from, right? Even your 8 CR 13 MOV, which is essentially OS 8. From there, bumping up to 9 CR 18 MOV is a pretty decent budget steel. And moving up from there, there are a whole bunch of, like I said, something CR, something MOV steels that actually perform quite a bit better. How this in particular performs, I have no idea. I can't even make a guess on what this is a rare situation where what we have here, if it's the same. You know what? Hold on. Do we have a steel setup this time? We do. What does that mean? Why is that significant? Because the last one was titanium. So probably the idea with this one is 10CR whatever is probably still a budget to mid-range composition. But the idea here is to reduce the price versus the first capsule because it was still pretty expensive. So this guy is probably, right, I mean, we're looking at G10, probably aluminum, more G10, steel frame, and a 10CR, and then obviously a stamped clip. Yeah, I bet this is significantly less expensive. I'll have it linked. At this moment, I obviously haven't looked it up yet, but by the time you're watching this, I will have completely and totally uploaded this video and filled out the description properly. So you can find out for yourself by going to the description if you want to. But yeah, okay, so a budget capsule. Good idea, because this allows people to enjoy this knife without having to spend the money that was required for the first one. The first one was substantially more expensive. Now this one here, Baby Raccoon Dog, stone pattern handle, M390. Okay, Baby Raccoon Dog. Where? There it is. Got to use the old obsidian toenail, which is still sharp after... How many years have I had this? What is that? What do we got right there? Is it cracking? I don't know. Imagine a day where this breaks on camera. What am I going to do then? I guess I'm just done. I'm retired. All right. Baby Raccoon Dog. What do we got here? Oh, yeah. Why do they call this a baby? Is it, I mean, it's certainly, is it smaller than the first one? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe a little bit smaller. So this Raccoon dog, if I remember correctly, the last time they did this, it was a bit under 200. It was like 180 or 190. So I hope that this one is the same idea. This is actually a really nice front flipper as far as front flippers go. Personally, I don't like that I don't really have a problem with the front flipper itself, but usually I don't like when it is the only means of deployment. And that's the case here. I wish that we had more than one means of deployment, but as a knife that has only one, it's actually really good. Titanium scales got kind of a rock pattern there. Very simple, very straightforward. And they have a little spot for you to put some tritium in the pocket clip. That's a nice touch. Does that go? No, it doesn't go all the way through. So yeah, if you have a piece of tritium, you can just plop that in there and you're good to go. That's a nice, I wish a lot more companies would do that. Tritium, I've got a big piece of tritium on my keys, and that has saved me a ton of times. So I think that's actually a pretty good idea, especially if you are wandering around in the dark all the time with your knife. But yeah, so this is a little bit smaller than the previous Raccoon dog, and probably slightly less expensive, but still with good materials there. Let's go ahead and measure. I'll measure both of these for you guys. So the capsule's coming in at 6 1/4 with a blade length of 2.65 and a cutting edge of slightly over 2.5, 2.55. The baby Raccoon dog, interesting name, is about 7.5 on the dot. Blade length is slightly over 3 1/4 if we go to the middle of the frame. Your cutting edge is exactly 3 1/4. I think we should probably go ahead and weigh them as well. So I bet you there we go. With this capsule having a steel frame, I think it's actually going to be maybe slightly heavier unless they change the thickness of the liners and everything else. It still feels like a little chunky knife though. 4.1 ounces. I can't remember what the original one weighed. If you own the capsule, let us know what it weighs, or you can go and look at my video. The baby Raccoon dog, 4 ounces, actually less than the capsule because it's titanium. Yeah, I think that people will find enjoyment there, especially, if you're familiar with Maxace's wacky stuff. It's like I always say, Maxace intentionally makes a lot of absolutely ridiculous stuff because that's what they like to do. But they also make super practical and much more straightforward designs. While these are a little bit more charismatic, I guess, they make even less loud designs. If you take a look at, I'll have Maxace stuff linked on Blade HQ. The Black Mirror, for example, is a great example of a super duper straightforward utilitarian knife that's actually still to this day one of the best dollar for dollar knives out there, considering, if you're actually going to carry it and use it as a tool, right? But they make kind of everything. They kind of make something for everybody, and their prices tend to be pretty darn good. I like to showcase their stuff quite a bit on this channel. Yeah, 2 cool offerings from Maxace. Each of these will get reviews because they are different. I mean, I've reviewed the large Raccoon dog or the full size, and I've reviewed the original capsule, but it was a different knife. So you'll get full comprehensive reviews on each of these knives down the road. For today, that's it. Thank you so much to Maxace for sending these in. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.